What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And in today's video guys, I will show you the latest news directly related to our story. As you can see, I'm back and I will show you some details about my mystical disappearance. Then I will show you the problem and the opinion of Mark Basil in regards to this problem. And I have to admit that this problem might be very impactful on the community. On top of that, I will explain you the latest NextBridge hydrocarbons filings with SEC, and I will show you how it might or might not impact NextBridge hydrocarbons shareholders in medium and long-term perspective. So, guys, let me explain you why I didn't do any videos for several days. I have to say that I was in hospital and I had an emergency surgery. I had an appendicitis. And for now, I'm in so-called recovery mode. But during this surgery, I found out that I have another disease, and so far I don't know what kind of disease do I have, and I'm about to know it. Yes, my fight, my main health fight is ahead of me, and I will do my best to win my personal battle. But so far, I'm ready to make this video for you, for my viewers. And guys, for now, I still need your support, and it just became even more important for me. And to support me, simply click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your friends and family. Also, at the end of this video, I will tell you my personal story before my hospitalization. So, and let's start with the news itself. I have to say that I missed several news, I missed several days of updates, but I want to start with this one, the most important in my opinion. First of all, we have another video that explains and describes the very beginning of fight in Senate against naked shorting activity. And let me quote you this. A trailer for the upcoming documentary has been released by Mark Falk. The trailer, which deals head-on with naked shorting, shows how the fight began in the Senate way back in 2009. And here's the tweet that was written by Mark Falk, and he wrote, "Comments are now turned on. Again, I want to say thank you to Mark Basil and everyone who interviewed with us or helped behind the scenes. Also, my amazing crew and Anthony Acid and Orogrande Music for providing the awesome music." And guys, it is just 4 minutes long trailer, and I highly suggest you to watch this video, because even I didn't know some facts in regards to other companies, not MMTLP, in regards to naked shorting activity. And definitely, I will watch the entire movie when it will be published. So, the next update is this one. An update from Team District Columbia. You know that while I was in hospital, Don Fis and his team came back from Washington, D.C. And here is the results. You can hear about 3.5 long audio where Don explains his opinion in regards to this trip. And I have to say that Jung Sebi wrote a perfect summary in regards to this trip. She wrote, "That's a wrap, nailed it. 250,000 plus steps, 6 flights, 4 hotel rooms, 94 in-person meetings, and this number is amazing. 75 packet drop-offs, more than 50 Uber rides, 1 briefcase, 1 bad bag. We still coming. Dial it in, the path is there. Be a constant presence, work the calendar." And guys, I have to say huge shout out to Don Fis and his team, because his efforts are extremely helpful for the community. And definitely, in his speech that I just mentioned just a couple of minutes ago, he told that he will not surrender and he will fight till the very end, and the end will be definitely the victory of MMTLP community. And guys, it is really amazing and it inspires a lot of people, and me as well, because I'm not in my best shape. I still have a lot of drugs in my body. That's why it is too difficult for me to just realize all the data properly, but still I have to do it, and that is why I'm doing it. So let me show you the next news that is very important in my opinion. And Mark Basil on March 22nd wrote this tweet, and now the floodgates are opened. And he added this link to another lawsuit, class action lawsuit. And I guess the very last video that I made before my hospitalization was in regards to these class actions lawsuit and how they might or might not affect the MMTLP community. And I have to admit that Mark Basil has a completely opposite opinion than, for example, Richard Hoffman or Due Diligence have. And let me quote you some updates in regards to his own post. So, Heidi Moga wrote this, just like you said they would. And Mark wrote, yes, a certain sector of the MMTLP community really screwed things up for the rest of those that believe them. No lawsuits. Now, the community is really at disadvantage. Cheers to those that said I had ulterior motives when I said this almost 10 months ago. It doesn't help those who bought into the BS of certain quote-unquote leaders. But Voltron helped to expose some of this. But everyone with a big mouth voice and cyberbullying tactics knew exactly what they were doing. Better increase that retainer. Haven't seen any attorneys intervene yet in the Adney case. So, I have to say that Mark is not so positive in regards to this lawsuit, and let me quote you further. D. Anuzio wrote, Drew and Richard Hoffman said this would be coming a few days ago in a space. They will all be pulled as one CA. They have nothing to do with the share count or Congress. Quit trying to stir shit up. Mark, keep calling Congress. And here's another very important Mark Basil's response. Drew and Richard, no, sorry to disagree with Richard, but these cases will have to deal with the share imbalance. And guys, this statement is quite surprising for me. Without it, they have no clue who the class members are, who are entitled to a payout, etc. I don't expect anyone to understand litigation and how the law actually works. But to say or even think it will have no bearing, that's absurd. And will multiple class actions be so-called consolidated? That's the legal term. Likely, but it doesn't stop NextBridge hydrocarbons having to deal with multiple lawsuits. I stirred shit up last year when I said the class actions will start to fly if the community didn't take legal action 9 months ago. And it did. So, posts like yours aren't helpful. In fact, it's more of a misdirection to the seriousness of these events. And definitely, keep calling Congress. Quite interesting statement, but it is not the end. I have to say that he added this another quite lengthy tweet, and he explains even more in regards to the Junk Savvy's opinion that this lawsuit will not affect the MMTLP community. And he said, I like and respect Junk, but she's not a lawyer, and she even reminds everyone she isn't. If you are an MMTLP holder, you are supposed to get notice of each class action at some point in those proceedings. If you don't receive a notice, then something is wrong. And there are few reasons why you may not get notice. Holders are trying to separate congressional subpoena for share imbalance information from class action specifically on all issuers MMTLP, because right now the class action is the venue. A class action before a federal court judge, where who exactly was and is a shareholder of the MMTLP securities, and who isn't, including how they got their shares, and when, and from whom. Also, didn't someone tell the community that if a class action is filed, congressional help will stop? I was stunned 9 months ago when I said this will happen, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it now because of so-called feelings. This is about money and the broken capital market system that hurt retail investors such as yourselves. There are a lot of reasons why there is no resolution right now, as much as Richie, Jan and a lot of others have done in DC with Congress. It seems that the big stall is still on. I'm not saying this to dissuade or belittle any of all of the great efforts with Congress, but the community now again has the opportunity to do something effective to get to a resolution. I have always been against a class action, but now that one of several I expect is filed. You as holders have an opportunity to get what Congress seems reluctant to. Don't squander it. And guys, I have nothing to say, because on the one hand we know that the only beneficial from class actions lawsuit are the lawyers and the law firms who filed these lawsuits on behalf of the shareholders. But on the other hand, Mark said that it might be a chance. And what kind of chance does he mean? I don't understand so far. Probably it is still drugs in my head, in my body, that prevent me to understand this entire situation. But guys, slowly but surely I am on my path to recovery, and I will do my best in order to find out what is a potential resolution and what is the best resolution for MMTLP community. So let's move forward. Let me pay your attention to this tweet that was written by Junk Savvy. And you know that just recently NBH Hydrocarbons files SEC Form 8A for registration of certain classes of securities. And in this form, NBH confirms 500 million authorized shares of common stock, 50 million authorized shares of preferred stock. NBH has 248,830,516 shares of common stock outstanding. And guys, in a minute I will explain you what is the difference in between these two numbers and these two statements. Holders of common stock entitled to one vote for each share held of record on all matters submitted to a vote of the shareholders. NBH's common stock is not listed on any national exchange and will not be eligible for electronic trading through DTC or any other established clearing corporation. And this is a very important statement. Next one. There is no established public trading market for the shares of common stock, and the registrant does not expect a market to develop. The transfer agent and the registrar for the common stock is Equinity Trust Company, formerly known as American Stock Transfer and Trust Company LLC. So guys, we have several very important statements, and you might wondering what is the difference in between these two numbers. 500 millions of authorized shares of common stock and about 250 millions of common stock outstanding. And let me explain you. Here is the brief explanation. Authorized shares equals to total number of shares existing and not yet issues. This means existing shares, for now, existing number of shares is 248 million shares. And you can see this number right here. By the way, this is the SEC filings, and here is the number of shares outstanding, 248.830 thousand. And definitely, for now, this is the only number you should rely on. But with this statement, they said, NBH Hydrocarbons said that they can add to this amount up to, basically, they can double this amount of shares. And when they do it, definitely it will be a delusional process. But guys, on the other hand, you have to think like this. If they have to issue an additional number of shares, they will definitely use these shares in order to explore more oil and gas assets in their properties. On top of that, Greg McCabe, the president and the CEO of NBH Hydrocarbons, is the largest shareholder. If I remember it correct, he has more than 17 million shares outstanding. And guys, do you think that Greg McCabe will issue an additional shares in order to dilute existing shareholders without any practical target of this process? I don't think so. That is why I don't think that you should worry about this 8K form. On top of that, guys, as you can see, I wrote this price and question mark. We don't know what is the current share price for NBH Hydrocarbons shares, And about a week ago, I made a video in regards to this number, and the price might be somewhere in between 280, if I remember it correct, all the way up to $440 per share. And we have, let me show you right here, we have basically three options how we can solve our problem. Option number one is 2 days of trading, and it is the least probable, and I explained it in my previous video. And two other options, they can basically come to fruition one by one. Because if we will have some kind of settlement in between NBH hydrocarbons and the short sellers, this additional value will be added to existing intrinsic value of existing shareholders. And during this process, you will not be able to sell any of your shares. You will just have an additional value. You will receive, in my opinion, some kind of dividend from this settlement, and it will improve your share price. And the second option is the merger and acquisition process. And if some major company, major oil and gas company will buy NBH hydrocarbons, in this case, you will be able to sell your shares, and you will have an intrinsic value for your shares on top of this money that potentially you might receive during this settlement. So it is what it is. I don't think that this statement should scare you, but you have to know what is the main idea of this couple of paragraphs. And guys, let me tell you my personal story. I have a wife and 2 children aged 11 and 15, as well as a small dog. After 30 years of living in Russia near the Basil Lake, we decided to move. Now we reside in Serbia. Although I don't own any MMTLP shares, I invest a lot of time creating daily MMTLP videos. I have been doing this every day without days off and holidays for more than 1.5 years. Now I wish to buy back this time from my family, from my children. We've agreed that I will ask the MMTLP community to support me, and I will give all the money to the children. Therefore, if you believe that I am providing useful content for you and wish to support me, you can join my Patreon account. For $5 a month, I will add your name to my list of supporters if you wish. Thank you in advance. The link you can find in the description below. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gone live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm